Hey guys, just as Boost here and welcome back to another Digimon video. This weekend was the weekend of the remote dual YCS, which I scrubbed going 3-3. Not very good. But that meant that I also had time to actually register for the Digimon Regional that was held by Tournament Center today. And I didn't scrub out, I actually topped the event, top 8, with the D-Brigade deck I showed off last week on the channel as well, which I've been playing. I'm very happy with the result. I'll go into the matchups and the top 8 breakdown at the end of the deck profile. Just quick shout out to Matthijs who brought me the cards, and Bruce who actually gave me the ID to register for the Digimon Regional after scrubbing out at the YCS. Also obviously shout out to all my opponents. Honestly I had a great time playing against everybody I played against. Except maybe Security Control, but even that guy was nice. It's just Security Control is not that fun to play against in my opinion. But then again, this deck isn't particularly fun to play against either. Opted to go for D-Brigade again instead of another deck just because I think this deck is really good matchups all across the board. Like the matchups against the Bond decks is relatively even. But now that the Agumon decks are slowly shifting to the more Pepsi approach with the red cards, it actually... the deck becomes a little bit slower. It's weird, right? Because your matchup should be getting better because their deck is getting slightly slower, but then it's also getting a little bit harder because you're playing a lot of good security cards and they are playing outs against your security cards. But yeah, the deck also is pretty good against security control and just, you know, against random decks you can just basically rush them down, and it's very, very good at that. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop into the deck list. Alright, so let's take a look at the actual deck list then. Starting with the Digitama, we are still on 4 Agumon. It's just the best one in generating advantage. This deck doesn't like draw a lot of cards from Digivolving like some other decks do, because it is of course kind of reminiscent of a Rookie Rush deck, and this kind of replaces the draw effect for multiple evolutions because you are playing a lot of your guys. Shout out to the guy who sold me 4 of these but only sent me 3, so that is why there's mismatching rarities. But yeah, Agumon is just the best black Digitama. And then also still Tsumemon, this makes your big Commandromon, the 5k one, even bigger, 7k, which definitely can come up. I was kind of lucky where I didn't really face any Mechanorimon stuff today, so that was nice. But Tsumemon is definitely the 5th Digitama I want to be playing instead of Missimon, in my opinion anyway. Yeah, not much to say about that. I think that's fairly standard, definitely wouldn't change this. Yeah, that's the Digitamas. Moving on to the main deck, starting out with the actual Commandromon. Of course, 3 times the heart and soul of the deck still. I mean, this is just the best one. This makes the entire strategy work. Missing of this can definitely be kind of annoying, but sometimes hitting this wins you the game. There was one match, I think it was against Agumon, where he popped my Commandromon, and if I hit with this I won the game, and if I didn't I would have lost, but I hit, so I just had the attacker on the next turn anyway, and that was GG. So that was nice, just the best one. Then also we're of course just maxing out on all the Commandromon basically, right? So like there's no real reason to separately go over them because it should be obvious. Like if there were more Commandromon to play, then you would play more Commandromon probably. This is still the most lackluster one, the big one. But you're just playing it since this a Commandromon. These are both nice, like this being a blocker comes up all the time, and then this is just 2 to play, which is just nice. Yeah, there's not much to say about this either. Agumon with a gun is just the best deck basically. Yeah, so 16 of those, and then the last rookie we're playing is also still same. We're still on a Agumon. This guy is definitely nice. Honestly, I would consider bumping this up because it's there's definitely matchups where this does come up. This is very strong against security control, like if they have multiple of the yellow memory boost. Like not the actual yellow memory boost, but I can't I really can't come up with the name. The 6 to play memory boost that like boosts for 3 memory and recovers your security. It's just super good against that. Like you can just put this on the field and not attack with it, and then you should be fine until you hit one of those security cards that actually outs it. But until then, that's good. I definitely think if I saw this like in the last round, second game, I could have won. And it was also like one of my win conditions in the first game, even though I kind of misplayed that, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, so 18 rookies, 16 Commandmon, 2 Agumon. Very good. You could possibly run more of this. It really depends on what matchups you think you will be seeing, and what will be popular in the upcoming EX format, of course, until BT7 is released. Then I am still on 4 Sirius Dramon. Yeah, the truth is, like, I didn't really have that much time to deck build after the previous tournament with this deck, because I said I would like to cut down on this actually, and I'm still, yeah, I still kind of think I do want that. Like maybe 3 is a good number, or maybe even 2, but I just didn't have a lot of time, so I just ran with 4 just because it's a blocker at 6k, which definitely is important against some of the cards that are being ran in this current format. And it is a D-Brigade name, so it helps you with your Dark Summon. But yeah, that's not the only deck for playing. We're also playing double Nanimon. Honestly, this is low-key just the best card in the deck. It just does so much. It's a security Digimon. It is 3 to play, so it's not bad to hard play this. In fact, it has a lower play cost than some of the Commandmon, like half of the Commandmon. And it's 2 to evolve, which can definitely help you choke out your opponent. But yeah, if I were to like cut Sirius Dramon, I might consider playing more of this, because this card is actually just, it's randomly so strong in this deck. And then some more level 4s. They're not black though, but it's just Core Dramon. This card's just really good. Like, it helps you get to the cards you want to see faster. 6 cost is pretty high, but we're playing a lot of tamers, so usually you won't be giving your opponent that much memory when you have to hard play this, and obviously when they hit insecurity it's just absolutely broken. I'm actually considering playing the is it Dracomon? Like the one that says if you unplay, it's also from the structure deck, you can add a Dramon card to your hand from the top X cards. Just because there's a lot of Dramons you're playing in this deck, and some of them are really important, like Dark Dramon and the Floaty Commandmon. So yeah, I'm considering playing that, and then you can even evolve into into this if you want to, but I'm not sure yet where I'm going with the deck. But yeah, this card's just, it's good. It's good for sure, since we're playing a very security control style deck. And then we're still on 4 Dark Dramon, just correct. I've seen so many lists with 3, but you really need to play 4. You want to see it like all the time, and you'd rather see multiples than not seeing it at all. And I lost my last round because I like had 2 of this in security, and then one of them went to the bottom because I missed a Command Dramon, I think. And then if I just saw like one of this earlier, I would have won that game for sure, but I didn't. So yeah, definitely a 4 off still, and the win condition of the deck. Then double Omnimons for defeat. Shout out to Matthijs, who is still borrowing me this card because I didn't give it back yet. I think this is a perfectly fine ratio, to be honest. Of course, this card is ridiculous when you hit it in security, but it's not that good to have in the hand. Because there's only like 1 Digimon you can evolve it on top of, right? Like if you played more black level 6, it would be fine to play 4, I think, but there just isn't. And you usually only play this to win the game. But I think 2 is, yeah, it's just a good number. It might seem a little bit odd just because of how strong it is, but this very bricky. You honestly never really want to draw it, and well, drawing is okay, but you never want to see multiples. So yeah, and then moving on to the options, this is just the reason why the deck is good. You can play all these super broken options while just rookie rushing down your opponent. And like, even if you give your opponent a ton of memory, they're basically forced to out your board because you put up so much pressure in the early game. Yeah, this card is just crazy. It's really good that it destroys all your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost. So sometimes it can hit multiple Digimon, which comes up quite frequently when you're activating from the hand, actually, and obviously just hitting in security, absolutely insane. Then for Ultimate Flare, this card's insane against the Bond decks, which I did play. I think I played against 3 of them. It's just really, really good. Basically just keeps blowing up the field every time. However, I would like to cut it down to 3 or maybe even 2. 4 is just a lot, and there's just some matchups where this card is absolutely horrible, like Security Control, which is still sadly super popular. But yeah, nevertheless, these cards were they perform fine. And then I'm playing 1 Gweld Swarmer. Honestly, I might want to bump this up to 2 just because it doesn't trigger security, but the main effect is just ridiculous. It definitely, I think it won't be like 3 games just activating it and then getting rid of my opponent who had game on board and then just slowly getting into it, or well, not slowly, but rather quickly getting into it again with the Dartramon and the Commandramon. So yeah, this card is very nice. Would definitely like try to play 3 Ultimate Flare and 1 of this instead, even though you are sacrificing your security stuff, but this card is just so good. Then I'm still on the 1 Black Memory Boost. Honestly, I'm just probably gonna cut this from the deck, it's really not that relevant. It is a consistency booster, but to be honest, you're playing a lot of rookies and then Cordramon as well to see your cards, and you really only want to see the rookies or the Dartramon, so this is gonna get cut. Like, it wasn't bad or anything, but I'm just 100% sure there's better cards you can play. Then for the Tamers, 2 Izzy. This one is generally good, you always start at 3, but then this card is just super broken. Like, your opponent wants to go wide against your Commandramon spam, but then they get punished by it if you have this on the field, so yeah, wouldn't change this ratio, this is perfectly fine. And then the last card in the deck is still the 1 random Magnadramon. It's also one of the reasons why I mentioned the I still don't know the name, it's not the Dracomon, whatever, the Dramon Searcher. Because it can also potentially add it. I didn't see it today actually, like, it was in security a couple of times and literally never drew it. But this card is definitely good because you're playing so many powerful security cards. And sometimes just 1 turn is all you need to be able to Dartramon kill your opponent, for example. So yeah, that's the decklist. Alright, so that was the decklist, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below. Do you agree with my card choices? Do you agree with the things I said I would change? Do you have any cool ideas looking into this deck, going into the, what's it called, the classic set format? Be sure to let me know. I'll do a quick rundown of my tournament. I played against mostly meta-ish decks. Okay, so game 1 I played against Tidemon Purple Toolbox, which is a very good deck, but it sometimes is too slow to set up, so I just took that match relatively easily, 2-0. Then game 2 I played, or match 2 I should say, I played against Agumon Ball of Courage, which I won 2-1. Game 2 I got super lucky because I hit a Commandramon from the Undeletion Commandramon, and like basically if I wouldn't have hit I would have lost, but now it provided me with the extra ability to go for game along with Dartramon. And then game 3 I think he just bricked. Then let's see, round 3 I lost to the eventual winner of the tournament, which was Lilith Loop. Well deserved there, like I absolutely got bodied. He set up like his Lilith Loop on like turn 3 or turn 4 or something, like super early in the game, and I got destroyed by double Omnimon Swords and stuff. So yeah, it wasn't much I could do there. Swift 2 over him. Then let's see, round 4 I played against Eosmon actually, so Eosmon was going 2-1. Very nice Italian guy, shout out to him, it was a very fun match. I won that 2-0. And I won the second game. I probably would have lost because I had like a bunch of Eosmon on the field, but I had Gweld Farman, which is very strong against that deck. So I won that one. Then match 5 I played against the Pepsi Gabubon deck. Round 6 I played against Gabubon with no red cards, so just Gabubon. And then round 7 I played against Gabubon again, but this time again with the red cards. And then in the final round, so I was 6-1 going to the final round, I played against Security Control. This match was a little bit rough, like Security Control is very annoying to play against anyway. I was really tired, and then basically game 1 I was in full control. I had like 5 bodies on the board, he had like 1 security card left or something, and 3 of the reinforced memory boost stacked up. And I had 2 blockers on the field, but I decided to just attack with him anyway because I still had 1 security left anyway, and he had no Digimon in play. I was like, what can happen? It just felt better to rush him down so I could game him for sure on the next turn. But then he randomly went like double push Agumon attack for game, and I was like, whoa, okay. So I was kind of tilted by that, to be honest, because I really did not see that coming. And then in game 2, my hand was really, really poor. But eventually I just grinded it out, and I think I played it pretty well, to be honest, with just the hand I had. I like double Omnium on the feet, and like I had a bunch of ultimate flare just cards that did nothing. And then the thing was, I just saw my Darkramon too late. If I saw Darkramon like literally 1 turn earlier, I would have won 100%, but I just saw it super late, and I couldn't get access to the second Darkramon I shuffled back, which was hit from security earlier. And that way he could just game me on the turn after. Like I basically had to go for game, but then one of his last security cards was a Wyvern's Breath, which he used to pop one of my attackers. And then I was just 1 attack short for game, so that was a little bit unfortunate, and I would have had the other attack if I had another Darkramon in play earlier. But it is what it is. I ended up being the highest X2, 7th place. My only loss being the winner and the 2nd place. Top 8 was... First place was Lilith Loop, 2nd place was Security Control, 3rd place was Musketeer. I'm not sure if it was Purple Musketeer or like the Security Yellow Bottom Musketeer deck. Then there was, I think, Agumon, another Security Control, me, D-Brigade, and then the 8th place was Gabubond. I'm not sure if it was the Pepsi version or the regular version. But yeah, that was the top 8. Very smooth tournament, went really fast, playing 8 rounds in about, yeah, I think clean 8 hours. So very smooth running from Tournament Center. I really enjoyed my time. Once again, shout out to all my opponents. I had a great time playing against them. I also have my friend Mark Vu's deck profile playing the Pepsi deck up later this week or maybe next week. We still have to record it, but I'm gonna show that off, which was top 16, so that was cool. Also going X2. Yep. Just be sure to let me know what you want to see next. Like I'll probably do some classic set deck profiles, or you know, just let me know what you think about the deck. And if you haven't subscribed yet but do enjoy this type of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you do, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!